Hey guys, Jabun here with a very special episode of the Stock Market Shoot podcast, because today it's been the best day ever. Did like 8% this morning on one trade, which I think is kind of crazy cool, and then ran a day trade, so that was that. But I want to talk to you yesterday about a concept that it's kind of really huge, especially if you're sort of getting into sort of making those first investments, and even if like you've already been investing and you're sort of transitioning. I know the other day we talked about like options, transitioning to new investment classes or new assets, a new education. Everything kind of revolves around this one crucial idea. So I'm super pumped to talk about it, and I'll see you guys after the intro.
So the big question is this: how do investors like us, who don't have a PhD in finance or millions to start investing, how do we grow our bank accounts to build real savings and retirements, and yet still have the time to do what we really love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer.
Awesome. All right, I hope you guys are pumped. There's been some crazy stuff going on. You can kind of see, dude, OXY, there were some insider traders. If you guys are learning like with the dark pool stuff that we teach, and looking for like block trades, somebody bought, or a couple people bought, like I think 2 million shares of this $40 stock OXY, like $38, and they like huge bottom. We were talking about them like earlier last year, and now they're back up again, pumping up. And so I got calls on them like 38. Now they're like 43, which is like double over break even, which has been absolutely crazy cool. And as that happened, obviously there's like, news and media and, insiders knowing about the oil crisis and the bomb strikes before they actually happen, which I think is pretty freaking crazy to think that like there are people that are betting, tens of millions of dollars on these stocks because they actually know what's going to happen in the news before it happens. And so definitely a cool little plug for strategy, for like investing with dark pools and all that cool stuff. So I'm so happy to like be teaching all that stuff, and we just recorded some of the class for it, which is pumping. Freaking cool. But this is like a new thing, right? So like for me, I haven't really been focusing on like institutional investment trades or like studying what really big players are doing for a while. And so going into this new space and making new investments based off of what people are pouring, hundreds of millions of dollars in, for me, like that's a new thing. And so when you go into new spaces, it's absolutely critical that you have belief about what you're doing, and you have complete and total confidence and conviction that you will turn whatever it is that you're doing into a success. And this applies if you're just starting investing. Like you have to believe that compound interest and growth and investments and assets are the key and are crucial and will succeed. Because if you have that first investment that goes down 5, 6, 7%, you have to stay in to have that long-term growth. You have to maintain your belief. And that's why a lot of people say, only invest in what you know really well, or only invest in companies that you know a lot about, and you research a lot about, especially when you start out, because you need to sort of believe in the underlying company, the underlying asset, in the event that something goes wrong, because it all stems from belief. Like one of the best mental shifts I have, and something that gives me a huge advantage, is I can invest in a company that I've probably spent maybe 17 seconds total on looking at, and make a trade on it for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, make 30%, and get out instantly, not caring at all about the company. And that's all comes down to like technical analysis, right? And so you need to, at the beginning, have total belief in what you're doing and say, look, I don't need to go and read this 40-page report about this company. I don't need to go look at their financials, because I know that this is true. And if it's not, if it's not right, you set a stop loss, not a big deal. But that's sort of the beginning of any kind of investing. You have to believe in the vehicle that you're in. And so, going into this new sector with like looking at institutional investors, looking at dark pool trades, for me, like that's huge, right? And I've been trying to get into it as fast as humanly possible by like teaching about it, giving seminars on it, recording courses on it, so that I can like fully master the material and then apply it. And I've been applying it so far, and it's been working absolutely phenomenally. There's been that trade on OXY, trade on GE, about 6 million shares purchased, and it's gone up probably 10-20% since then, which has been phenomenal. And then the options on that are even it's up 30% today. And then some other trades on AMD, which I'm super pumped about, like 6-month puts on them, and they're just insanely high right now, which is interesting. I'm super pumped to see how it works out. We're up like 30% today, which is this. Those are swing trades though, so obviously those don't get closed out. The only thing that closed out was that one day trade today for 8%. But the really critical thing is that you're approaching new opportunities. All right, now I don't know if it's your first time investing in a stock, it's your first time buying an options contract, if it's your first time trading on maybe your first time day trading, maybe your first time on margin, but you're still maintaining your account like within the margin balance. shifting away from cash, like whatever it is, you have to have confidence, conviction, and belief that what you're doing is going to succeed. And here's kind of my example for that. So a lot of you guys know, for about the past, I'd say about a year, maybe a little bit less than a year, I've been following the Slow Carb Diet by Tim Ferriss, and it is like absolutely phenomenal. One of the best things like I think I've ever done. It's like Christmas every single week. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm in the process of making this course, just this little tiny little mini thing about it, to give away for free as an unadvertised bonus to 9 to noon clients, people that get the book. I just want to give them this little thing because I think it's so powerful. And it's this diet that Tim Ferriss has in the For Body, where like you eat like only protein and lentils, and like spinach and broccoli, like only protein and like certain vegetables. It's a very, very limited, like it's basically like keto, right? So it's like no carbs whatsoever for 6 days a week. And then on Saturday or whatever, you pick a day and you stick with that day. So for me, like that day's Saturday. So on Saturday, like, which is tomorrow, which is going to be super exciting, by the way, like you just go berserk, you go crazy, whatever the hell you want, like cakes, pies, donuts, dude. I'm going to have so much chocolate tomorrow. It's insane. I'm just so excited, so pumped up. And for me, like it's so great. It's like Christmas every week, as many donuts as it's amazing. I cannot express how tremendous it is to eat like 4,000 calories on Saturday, and yet like Tuesday I'm like cut, swole, and looking amazing. And like that's just the diet, right? That's just what I've been doing for about a year, and it just works really, really, really well. I wish I discovered it like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, which is why I'm putting it in as a training that you get kind of for free with the book, because I think it's a really, really powerful thing. I've talked about it before on here, this idea that you need to master your body to master your finances, because you have to have control of yourself before you have control of your mind. And that's kind of, I think, one of the ways that this is like a shortcut to get there, which is pretty sweet. I mean, there's obviously work. You have to eat a pretty specific diet and cut carbs, cut sugar for 6 days a week. But dude, that 7th day a week is so amazing. And for me, like I already didn't eat sugar for like 2 years when I started it, and so like going into it, it was like so amazing because I could have sugar again. No, oh my god, I can't say enough good things about this diet. It's amazing. And so I'm coming home for the first time in like 8 months, and because like break, and we just got back from skiing, and so I'm seeing my mom, because for me, I had to stay at Tech to get in-state residency for a certain number, for pretty much all the days of the year. It's a complicated thing with like my parents and with the state, but basically like I couldn't come home to see my mom, so I'm seeing my mom for like the first time in about 8 months, almost a year, and she's, I've been doing this diet forever and I absolutely love it, and she's like not like a huge deal, not the worst thing ever, but definitely like I'm getting some flame for the diet, and it's almost Saturday, and I'm stockpiling up a bunch of candy because it's gonna be the best freaking day ever. And she's like, hey, this is, and she's like looking up reasons why I can't do what I'm doing, or looking up reasons why I'm eating too much meat, which is insane, guys. Straight facts. If you guys read this book, For Our Body, like they had these trials where they had people that just ate a certain food group for 2 weeks, and they had one set of people that only ate fat for 2 weeks, and another set that only ate protein, another set that only ate carbs. And the people that only ate protein for 2 weeks, nothing else, they lost, I think it was about 2.5 pounds. And then the people that only ate fat for 2 weeks and nothing else lost about 4.25 pounds. And the people that only ate carbs actually gained 3 pounds. And so like all you have to do, like calories aren't as important as just like eating the right food. And if all you eat is protein and fat, which is exactly what I'm doing, with like beans and stuff, like you're golden, right? And so I don't know, like combine that with working out every single day, like it just works really, really well. The results are phenomenal, and so like I have like tremendous results. I look absolutely amazing, and I love it. And yet I come home and my mom's like criticizing me and saying, and like criticizing the diet and criticizing what I'm doing and trying to like literally look up articles about like why I'm like doing things wrong and stuff. And I'm like, dude, like because like everyone wants the result, right? Everyone wants to make more money investing. Everybody wants to, lose a bunch of weight, get 6-pack abs, whatever. And if you want to get the result, like the most important thing is not necessarily like the way about you go it, especially when you're starting out. When you're starting out, the most important thing you can do is have belief in yourself, have belief in the system and the vehicle and the world around you that you're using and you're leveraging to get the result you want. Like, you have to believe wholeheartedly that you're an amazing investor and that the stock market is an amazing vehicle to succeed in, and that you can succeed even if you don't have a PhD in finance or millions to start investing. And as soon as you believe that, it's 1,000 times easier to have successful investments. It's the same thing with, this diet thing. Like, it's a very trivial thing, yet if you want to have success with it, like, when I started this diet, like, I had to fully and completely believe that it was going to work. It was going to be the most amazing thing ever, and I wasn't going to stop it for probably the next couple of years. But I don't know if I'll ever stop. It's freaking awesome. Like I said, Christmas every week. It's really, really good. You just eat whatever you want. And so, like, if you want to have the highest level of impact in anything that you're doing, it all comes down to this one critical key of having belief. And it's not because, like, I can't, like, belief has to come from you. It has to come from inside. Like, I can't just logically convince my mom, like, why, this diet's coolest thing ever. Like, I get results constantly, right? Like, I make, 8% today, or I look amazing. And I'm like, look, you've got to do this. Like, she just basically leaves all of her stuff in index funds or gives it to money managers. What I think is crazy, because, like, there's so much more growth out there. I literally made what her fund manager made last year in the past, 4 hours. Honestly, it was one trade. It took me 15 minutes to make the trade and research it. It was like a 5-minute trade. It was, anyway, really cool. It was a green, red, green, 1 minute candlestick pattern. So you get in on the fourth candle after the green, red, green. Anyway, you guys know this, it's in the book. And but definitely, like that works. Why does that work? It works because I have total and complete conviction in the green, red, green. Like, I have total belief in these patterns and these setups. And obviously I have a stop loss, but, I'm going to get in quick as soon as I see what I need to see to get in. I remember so many investments over the past couple of months I've been making just with 9 to noon trading. I will literally pull a stock up off a screener, instantly see a setup or a crossover on the VWAP or a candlestick pattern or something really, really amazing, or a wedge or an ABCD setup. And I will get in within 5 seconds. I'll be like, snap, in, buy. And that only comes when you have total belief in what you're doing, when you have complete conviction in the strategies and the methods and the systems they use. Because we talked about this earlier, right? This idea that the values in the systems, and you want to have conviction and belief in those, and that belief will translate into a physical, monetary equivalent. It'll translate into the results that you want, because as you increase belief, you increase your ability to decide, you increase decisiveness, and you increase the amount of steps that you take, the amount of real steps that you take to actually get towards the goals and the growth and the development that you want. And it all starts with this one simple concept of just going all in and believing. And so that's kind of the huge message that I want to share with you today. For me, I know kind of belief in the market and belief in financial markets and assets kind of came sort of as an epiphany, after, I left my job and I went all in on the market, and I was I said to myself, look, I have to make this work. And I made it work, and I made more in 2 weeks than made the whole year prior. And so for me, that was a huge shift. And I know some of you guys might have that, some of you guys might not have that. So I wanted to kind of share this story with you to make that leap, make that jump, wherever it is or wherever you have to go. It's so worth it, because once you make the leap, once you have jump, and once you establish that belief, it's a total game changer. And you're locked in to the growth. You're locked into the development. For honestly, the rest of time. So if you want to have lasting, impactful, and geometrically scalable results, it all comes down to that concept of belief. So thank you guys so much for listening. Really hope you got a ton of value out of this podcast. Go out there, apply it, absolutely crush it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yay. Thank you. Bye.
Want more stock market secrets? If so, you can get your free copy of my best-selling book, 9 to Noon. You get your free copy plus $11,176 of unannounced bonuses that took me years to uncover, completely for free at 9tonoonsecrets.com. Inside 9 to Noon, you'll find the top 38 secrets you can use to double your portfolio every 2 years and make upwards of 10% daily.